This next comic, he plays all over the city. Please give it up for the very funny Marc Ragovin. Keep it going, people.
Okay, so at the beginning of the year, I bought for work one of these fact-a-day calendars. You know what I'm talking about? Right? It's one of these desk calendars that's supposed to give you a little interesting tidbit every day of the week, like the cheetah is the fastest land animal, you know, stuff like that. That's actually true. But I think mine came from a defective batch, because this is what I've learned so far. In 1991, ophthalmologists concluded that people should not stare directly at their radios when a total eclipse of the heart is playing. In 1965, the Supreme Court overturned Mississippi's ban of the black and white cookie. Ironically, most Quakers don't have time for breakfast. In Detective Comics number 387, the Riddler finally outfoxed Batman by asking him to solve a problem like Maria. The worst thing about hell is that it's very cliquish. Lou Costello and his wife often interrupted their lovemaking sessions for a 15-minute routine of Who's on Top. The most awkward event in history was the groundbreaking ceremony at the first shovel factory. The least lucrative profession in America? Amish wedding photographer. In Wisconsin, lactose intolerance is a hate crime. Due to a misspelling in the state seal, Minnesota was once known as the land of 10,000 latkes. From 2005 to 2009, the Learning Annex offered an 8-week course in how to correctly swipe a Metro card. 63% of barbershop quartet singers say that every Adeline they've ever known was a cranky bitch. In Europe, Fahrenheit 451 was issued as Celsius 233. President Bush thinks that a leotard is a mentally challenged lion. Before the invention of tear gas, police would immobilize suspects by spraying them with painful childhood memories. In his PhD dissertation, Al Roker defended the position that there ain't no sunshine when she's gone. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt holds the world's record for most frequent victim of identity theft. Every year, the National Science Foundation spends over $300,000 investigating what nervous butterflies get in their stomachs. President Bush once refused to leave an H&H Bagels until they did his tax return. There has never been a kangaroo named Jehoshaphat. 88% of the time when the person you've asked for directions says, "Sorry, I'm not from around here," they're from around here. In 2010, Lego came out with a New York City construction site kit featuring a corrupt building inspector. Orville Wright and his girlfriend were the first members of the 18 Feet High Club. The motto of the Pony Express was, "When it absolutely positively has to be there by spring." Due to protests by animal rights groups, hypnotists may now turn audience members only into organic, free-range chickens. Scientists predict that if the wireless revolution continues on its current pace, by 2025, the umbilical cord will be obsolete. Although Mother Teresa witnessed many disturbing things during her lifetime, she was most tormented by the lack of defense in every NBA All-Star game. Who knew? After a while, Pythagoras got lazy and just issued a bunch of wild hunches. Here's a little secret. No recorded phone call has ever been used for quality assurance purposes. And people, don't be fooled. Your building's elevator inspection certificate is not on file in the property manager's office. Before the invention of the periscope, every submarine had at least one crew member with an extremely long neck. Every year, over 10,000 US couples travel to China to adopt a highway. In 1992, the Nobel Prize in Mathematics went to an MIT professor for proving that there is strength in numbers. In 1998, anthropologists discovered a South Pacific island tribe so primitive, they cook with low fructose corn syrup. The number one reason that most people move to the West Coast is so that during football season, they can watch 60 Minutes at its regularly scheduled time. Mike Bloomberg is so rich, he once found a couch behind the change in his apartment. That's rich. Benjamin Franklin's lazier brother discovered static electricity. In his 2001 inaugural, President Bush challenged NASA to put a man on Planet Fitness by the end of the decade. The lap dance business really began to flourish after the invention of the chair. The older that Creedence Clearwater singer John Fogerty has become, the more he wishes there actually was a bathroom on the right. During the high inflation days of the late 1970s, many porno films had to limit the money shot to a firm, heartfelt handshake. Most people who met Jacques Cousteau found him to be exceedingly shallow. Geronimo was terrified of heights. As a boy, Abe Lincoln played with Washington logs. In China, the first tune that beginner piano players learn to master is called forks. Most people who visit the Alamo end up forgetting where they parked. Amelia Earhart's last flight was sponsored by Land's End. Too soon? All right, two more. At the New Jersey Turnpike's Vince Lombardi rest stop, whizzing isn't everything. It's the only thing. And I'll leave you guys with this. The #1 announcement heard during rush hour in Venice. Ladies and gentlemen, there is another gondola directly behind this one. Thanks for listening, guys. You've been a great audience. Appreciate it. Get them 50.
Marc Ragovin, give it up. That was hilarious. All right.